Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Classic Restos. Of course, not possible without the continued support from Shannons Insurance and Penrite Oil. And where would we be without Shannons Insurance? They offer us as the enthusiast just so much, such as multi-policy discounts. You can pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote on 134646. You can also see more online and sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club when you visit shannons.com.au. The Shannons Club, where it truly is your garage. This engine's in the back, right? Yeah. Here it is, it's out back. It doesn't matter what the engine, it can take Penrite oils and coolants. Penrite is Australian owned, Australian made. It's been around since 1926, and the Penrite Technical Assistance Line is there to help you 7 days a week. For more information as to how Penrite can help you, visit them online at penrite.com.au. Penrite, simply a better class of oil. Oil right. Use Penrite. And on today's episode, it's time for you to join me here in Australia's Capital Territory for the 2014 Shannons German Autofest. Well, here we are, the 2014 Shannons German Autofest. And to start the ball rolling, we have Tony. How are you, Tony?
Good, thanks, Fletch. How are you doing?
Good, mate. Good. Welcome to today's show.
Thank you very much.
You know what? There's nothing like a car with fins and a couple of props out back. How unique is this?
Very unique. Very unique. Only one of Australia registered at the moment. So there's a couple I'm looking for that came in the early 60s, so I'd love to track them down. But at the moment, it's the only one registered up in Australia. So
Tony, we're talking, it's an Amphi car, right?
That's right. Yep, Amphi car. 1964, made in Germany. It's a bit of a Bitzer car, so bits of pieces. Some from it's the Porsche gearbox that ran a Triumph Herald motor in the back. Yep. We have Mercedes suspension and wheels. Volkswagen steering, and some Borgwood interior and gauges.
An advanced little car.
Amazing. For its time, I was really surprised about the simplicity of the engineering.
And how cool is it? I mean, if someone's after you back in the day and you had one of these, you know, on the street, you could just do a left and then go into the lake and get away that way.
Well, it's interesting you said that. In a couple of the European countries, they're actually banned because people were able to get away from the police by driving into the nearest river and swim away. So they actually banned them in some of the European countries.
Let's have a look at some of the features of the car. I mean, okay, we've got a 4-speed manual box down there. We've got a radio in the dash.
Yes.
I like the speedo and the instrument cluster with the chrome bezels around. I mean, it's a nicely presented car.
Beautiful, classic looking. Even the lines, the interior, as you said, kept as simple as possible, yet easy to operate.
Yeah.
Some labels on the gauges would be nice. There's about 15 different pulls and buttons and switches. No labels on them, but eventually you work them out.
And the door pockets are not too far removed from what you'd find on a Beetle.
That's correct. Yeah, very similar. Very similar.
So what's it like when you're in the water? I mean, you know, have you got to almost look for a sponsor, like a silicon sponsor, in case it leaks? What's going on there, Tony?
I was surprised because one of the only amphibious vehicles with doors. So most amphibians don't have doors. So
hang on, the water would get in then.
Yeah, so double seal. And it's got a water lock, so you pull another lever and it locks the door. Stops anyone from opening the door while you're in the water, but surprisingly they work.
Wow.
Actually works.
It's amazing. Look, before I let you go, Tony, tell us about the wheels. I mean, you know, I love my steel wheels. Painted red, got the white walls. The tyres look old.
Yeah, they're actually the original tyres, made in
from 1964.
1964,
wow.
Made in Switzerland. No longer exist, and the original tread pattern and tyres. And it's still got the Swiss label on there.
That's
so
amazing.
Really good to have.
What a ton of fun here. I mean, it'd be hard to say what the thing's worth. It'd be almost priceless.
Yeah, it's really hard to judge. Different auctions at different prices. In some auctions in America, mint condition ones have gone over 100,000 different in auctions. And then you can do restoration jobs and at various amounts.
That's great.
Yeah, it is hard to pick the value.
Isn't it good to interview a car, have a car in Classic Restos, a car with a difference, something that's so multi-purpose that can be driven on the street and, like you say, exit stage left and escape across the river.
Yeah, straight in, yeah.
Tony, thanks for being on today's show and sharing with us this incredible vehicle.
No worries, thank you, Fletch. Nice to meet you.
Good on you, mate.
You got on you.
Reports from the day tell me that this vehicle does have some accolades. Apparently it's absolutely terrible to drive on the street, shocking to steer in the water, but at least it has both. Audi is definitely one of the top 3 German car brands, with its focus on producing luxury cars. Founded in 1909, Audi has a wide range of cars from mini cars to large SUVs. And if you're wondering what the 4 rings of the Audi logo mean, each ring represents 4 car companies that merged to create the company we know. The Audi is produced in 9 production facilities located in different locations throughout the world. And Audi is looked upon by some as fine-looking sports and luxury cars, reliable and efficient, favoured by thousands all over the world. Moving through, we have Adair now. Hello, Adair. How are you?
Hi, Fletch. How are you?
I'm good. Have a look at this. This would have to be the most ugliest piece of junk here today. Seriously, a 1964 Skoda. What are you doing to us, Adair?
Oh, it's a beautiful car. I love my Skoda.
I dare you to drive it.
I had to come, didn't it?
There's a reason why it's on the show. I love this for what it is. And I love the patina look. You must just stand out in this everywhere.
It's the most talked about car I've ever driven, the most photographed car I have ever driven. I pulled up to a new Skoda at the lights the other day in Phillip, and they had to stop at the traffic lights. I'm like, we have to go. But yeah, people love it.
Isn't it awesome? I mean, when it looks like a Simca at the front.
Yes.
It's like a Simca station wagon.
Yep.
If they ever built one.
Yeah, not a station, but it does look like a sim car.
Yeah. But I've got to say, this patina look, it's kind of growing on me, and it just looks better on some cars than others.
It's 50-50. People either love the patina look or they hate it. But yeah, it's getting quite a few comments.
Now tell us, Adair, what's it like to drive? Now I believe this has got a reverse H-pattern gearbox, so instead of first up in top left, first is up in top right. Is that correct?
That's right. Just have to be on the ball because I drive a normal car as well. And so you've just got to remember that everything's backwards. But it doesn't take too long to get to it.
Why would they do that? I mean, all around the world, an H-pattern 4-speed gearbox pretty well works that way. But no, not with the Skoda. Let's do it back to front, just to confuse the man, or in this case, the lady.
That's one of the things I love about it. No one's going to be able to drive it away, are they? They'll have no idea.
Now, Adair, what's the go with the painting on the back here? I reckon that's kind of cool.
This is our one concession to doing the car up. A friend decided it looked too drab, so on top of this he's painted what his version of a Czechoslovakian chick would be like if she was driving a car.
It's transformed the whole vehicle, hasn't it? It really has made a big difference.
She's just beautiful. I do love her. So the car's an Octavia, and that's my Octavia.
It's good on you, Adair. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Fletch. Nice to talk to you.
You're welcome. Mercedes-Benz is one of the most recognised car brands in the world. In fact, Mercedes-Benz is high up in the top 3, producing not only cars, but also trucks, buses and other vehicles that are best in their categories respectively. Mercedes-Benz has its headquarters in Stuttgart and produces expensive and luxury cars all across the globe. Mercedes-Benz has gained popularity for its incredible durability, high quality and continuous innovations. Some say that Mercedes-Benz manufactured cars truly describe how the German cars should look. When it comes time for the best in classic vehicle, home and contents insurance and an opportunity to sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club, see more when you visit Shannons at shannons.com.au. And the Penrite Technical Assistance Team is there to help you 7 days a week. Find out more from Penrite at penrite.com.au. You're watching the 2014 Shannons German Autofest here in the ACT. You're seeing it first on Classic Restos. Back with more after this. Welcome back. Well, we can't be at a German Autofest show and not have a Mercedes-Benz. How are you, Richard?
Oh, I'm very well, Fletch, thank you.
That is good. 1965, a 220S. It's a very smart-looking car. What can you tell us about it?
Well, actually, I'm only the second owner. It's only done about 46,000 miles.
Very smart car, Richard. I mean, love the interior and a very unusual dash cluster where the speedo is for that particular year.
Yeah, it's a tubular speedo. It actually rotates. If you can imagine a sort of a piece of pipe, you know, spinning like that. That's, you say you've got yellow and then you've got yellow and red and sort of so the colours go up. No, nice car.
They have a bit of bright work, opulence.
They do, and all the timber around the there's timber lining all the way around the doors and all the way around the windows, and so it does. You sit inside, and it's kind of classy.
Yeah. Now, Richard, the 220, obviously 2.2 litre engine.
2.2 litre, 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that go? I mean, it's not a light car by any means.
No, it's only they're about 112 horsepower, but lots of torque. It's a 4-speed auto. And they like petrol, I can say. It's because it's a carburetted model. It has 2 Zenith carbies, 2 twin-choke Zeniths on it. And so you can imagine a pipe about 4 inches diameter. You just pour petrol in it and sort of power comes out the other end. Not too much sophistication, I'm afraid.
The person that bought a Mercedes-Benz back in 1965, well, they weren't worried about that. Well, they're probably not too worried about it now either. Richard, thanks for being on today's show. Beautiful example of a Mercedes-Benz. And there's quite a few who have turned up here for the Shannons 2014 German Autofest show. But just thought I'd pick on you. Good on you, Richard.
Thank you, and thank you very much for your time. Thanks, Fletch. Thank you.
BMW completes the German Big Three. Founded in 1916, the German car brand produces a lot of luxury cars and has brought Mini and Rolls-Royce, with desire to set its sights on the premium sector of the international market. BMW is one of the most popular German car brands and is known for engineering excellence. BMW is also known for motorcycles, hosting fantastic performance and build quality. Moving through as we do, time for a classic Porsche on today's show. We have Simon. How are you, Simon?
Good, thanks, Fletch.
That's the way, mate. 1963 Porsche. The only one here. What a classic, mate. Beautiful car.
It's a fabulous little car, you know. It hasn't got the performance of the modern cars and the modern Porsches, but, you know, it's enough to keep up with the modern traffic, and it's great fun because you get to, you know, use it for its full capacity, basically, without getting booked.
You say that it has no problems keeping up with the modern day traffic of today. Well, in 1963 it wouldn't have had any problems then.
No, it must have been pretty good back then. And the handling's still pretty good now, so, you know, it must have been a real race car back then.
It looks good though. I mean, we look at the aesthetics of the interior. We look at seating position and wheel, dash cluster. I mean, it's a good looking thing.
Yeah, and, you know, particularly in pictures, you know, you sort of once you live with a car, you sort of start to forget occasionally what an impact it was when you first saw it. But then every now and then you sort of see a photograph of it or something, and especially the angle through the open window with all the chrome on the dash and stuff. And it's just such a lovely era of motoring, you know, all of that styling and stuff. I love it.
Simon, engine out back. Run us through the specs on that.
Well, it's got a 1600cc motor, so it's, you know, pretty small, but the car weighs, you know, 3 parts of nothing. So, you know, it's the only car we've got that I can push out of our driveway, you know, uphill, you know, by myself. You know, it weighs nothing. So
It's like an upmarket go-kart.
just about, yeah, and it handles a bit like one too. So, you know, it really is great fun to hook around through the corners with. But you've got to make sure you're in the right gear, you know, otherwise you run out. It's got no torque really. It's just got to rev.
Got to keep the revs up. That's what these things were all about, just a whole bunch of fun. Now, in terms of the restoration or the time you've had the car, have you had to do anything to it?
Not really. We looked around and looked for one that was going to be in good nick to start with. And this car was actually the last of this series that got delivered to Australia. So this is the B. So they had the pre-A's, A's, B's, and the C's. C's went to disc brake, same body as this one. So this was the last one that came into the country. And it's had a documented history through the Melbourne crowd up till then, and we bought it from Melbourne. Yeah, and you might like to know, Fletch, it is insured with Shannons, and it does use Penrite oil.
Need we say more? How good is that? Major sponsors of the show. Find out more, classicrestos.com.au. Simon, thanks for your time, mate. Keeping the dream alive. I mean, a Euro classic at its finest, mate. Thank you.
Thanks. Nice to talk to you.
The car of the people. As the name Volkswagen means, perhaps the coolest and most fun German car to own. Founded back in 1937 by Ferdinand Porsche, he invented the iconic Volkswagen Beetle for the German government. The Volkswagen Beetle made Volkswagen famous to the world, and it's rare that someone doesn't like a Beetle. The Volkswagen Classic Vehicle Fraternity is one of the strongest group of enthusiasts today. With me now we have Willie Nelson. Yes, maybe not the Willie Nelson that you know, but it's the Willie Nelson, part of the organising committee here, VW, here at the German Autofest. How are you, Willie?
I'm very well, thanks, Fletch. Thanks for coming along.
That's all right, that's all right. Now look, it's been a great day so far. What's your thoughts on it?
A fantastic day, a lot of cars here, beautiful weather, great backdrop here on Lake Burley Griffin here in Canberra. It's been a fantastic day.
That's awesome. And with a name like Willie Nelson, I mean, I guess you're over the line of on the road again, right?
Absolutely. Don't ask me to sing because it's not nice.
Look, I've got to take my hat off to you, as I do all the organisers. I say this all the time. It takes a full 12 months to organise these events. It is huge. One good thing about today, there's lots of different car clubs covering lots of marques as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good being the German car auto display. We've got all the German marques here, including obviously BMW, Mercedes, all the big ones, but we also had some NSU and a Skoda, which was really good. I think you got that earlier.
Yeah, why would you want to paint that?
Absolutely. Leave it as it is. It's just fantastic.
That ain't going to help it.
No, at all.
Now, we're on the picturesque Lake Burley Griffin here too, in Australia's capital territory here in Canberra. You couldn't have picked a nicer spot, Willie.
No, we've been very lucky. If the weather's bad, the National Capital Authority, who run these areas, don't like us on their lawned areas and put us into a asphalted car park. But the weather's been kind to us. They've let us come onto the grass, and as you say, it's a beautiful, picturesque location. Helps get the crowd in and helps make the show look a lot better.
Behind the scenes too as well, Willie, charities, like to mention those?
Yeah, we have a charity that we look after through Lennox Motors. They come along with some of their brand new cars, and their big charity is the Canberra Hospital Foundation for the Sick Children. And so a lot of our money, entry fees and that, and go towards the Canberra Hospital Foundation.
How cool is that? I love that. I love that. I can't hear that enough. You can't get enough of that stuff. All the work these people do, and it's always off to such great causes. Now, website in terms of people wanting to get involved with the German car scene. What can you offer there, Willie?
Through each of the separate car clubs. For us in the VW club, it's the Club VW out of Sydney, and on there's a link to the Canberra chapter of Club VW, and we always advertise all our stuff on there, all our shows, but especially this being at one of our biggest shows, it's on there a couple of months out from the event.
And you're a cool bunch of people too, I've got to say.
Yeah, look, the VW guys are great. They're pretty relaxed and laid back. You know, there's not too much formal offerings from the VW boys.
Yeah. If you drive a DAC, it's all about the lifestyle, isn't it?
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, Willie. Let you get back to it. Good on you, buddy.
Thanks very much for coming, Fletch. Love it.
You're welcome.
You deserve a Fletch tour. See the amazing Ford, GM and Chrysler Nationals at Carlisle events, along with museums and private collections in beautiful Pennsylvania, USA. Then it's the Motown city of Detroit and its region, taking in more die-hard stuff with incredible history. Rounding off with the Woodward Dream Cruise, the largest moving car cruise in the world.
The best part of coming here actually was having Fletch here.
We get picked up, we get dropped off.
Fletch is a wonderful tour guide.
I would just recommend a Fletch tour to anybody.
Go to classicrestos.com.au and click on the Fletch Tours icon for more information. Hope you're enjoying today's show. Back with more after this.
Time to speak to some cool characters now. We've got David. How are you, David?
Very well, Fletch. Thank you very much.
That's the way, mate. Pleasure to have you on the show. A 1967 Splitty, the last year of the Splitties in the DAC.
That is correct, yep.
Mate, pretty cool having this.
It certainly is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
How long have you had it, mate?
Had this car, I think, nearly 6 years, but it was in pieces when we got it, and it's just been slowly pieced back together.
It's like a never-ending Meccano set, isn't it?
Ball of fun, mate. It's a ball of fun.
Now, how many have you got at home?
9.
Yeah, he's got it bad, hasn't he?
I got it real bad.
Yeah. Now, plans with this, I would say that, well, look, you know, you're leaving it like, you like the look, don't you?
Yeah, this guy's got a lot of battle scars, and the battle scars themselves are well earned. As far as I'm concerned, it's something I really wouldn't want to get rid of.
Yep.
I think it gives him a bit of character.
Yep.
We've repaired what needed to be repaired to make him a safe vehicle,
Yes.
but otherwise he's earned his scars and he can keep them.
Every stone chip is a trophy.
Yep, there's not one car the same.
No, that's it.
There's not one car the
And
same.
that's what I love about this patina, this theme. I mean, new brakes, new engine, gearbox, electricals, but leave the body as is, hit it with a coat of clear, and you're away.
That's it. It sounds like you've done it before.
Yeah, well, hung around new blokes long enough now. Now, speaking of hanging...
You want a splitty, Fletch.
Yeah, that's been said to me before too. Now, your son Damien, he's got a really cool van. Now, what's the year on that one?
1977. 1977 bay window, yeah.
Yeah, well, look, your son, his attention to detail on that's beautiful. And also got the Shannons Award here today, right?
Yeah, actually, I was getting a cup of coffee and I heard his name called out, so it was like, wow, good on you, Damo. That was great.
That's good. I know why he got the Shannons Award, because it's green.
Ah, there you go.
But Damien's a cool dude too, and how long's he been in the scene?
Damien has been in the scene for 6 years, and he started the whole thing rolling.
He got you into it. He
got me hooked.
Isn't that fantastic? Mate, what a cool dad, huh? He's got his son, you're both in on it, two partners in crime. Great to see you here today, mate, and I love what you got.
Fletch, I couldn't agree with you more. It's just actually has made my day meeting you, pal.
Oh, that's nice.
Fantastic.
Thank you. And just recently on the show, went to Emerald in Queensland, the Emerald Classic Car Club up there, and what a fantastic bunch of people. And there was one splitty on the paddock, and it made it on the show as well.
Fantastic. So. Go the splits. Go the splits.
Good on you, Dave.
Thanks, Fletch. Been a pleasure.
German car brands are mainly known for producing luxury cars. However, Porsche, or depending on what side of the bridge that you are from, Porsche is a brand that produces nothing else but sports cars. The car manufacturer was founded in 1931 in Zuffenhausen, Stuttgart, by the previously mentioned founder Ferdinand Porsche. Porsche has produced very high quality sports cars that are still popular for the true car enthusiasts of today. Now we have Mandy on the show. Now Mandy's got a Beetle. How are you, Mandy?
Pretty good, thank you.
Tell us about your Beetle. What year model is it?
It's a 63 floor pan and it's a 67 motor. Right. So it's a 1300 motor.
Yep. Have you always been a Volkswagen lady?
I learnt to drive one. Parents wouldn't let me buy one. And midlife crisis, 6 years ago, I bought this actually here on the lake. It was for sale.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just it's a toy for you, Mandy? You don't drive it every day, or do you?
I drive it every day.
You're a daily driver?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Classic car, daily driver. How cool's that?
And I fix it. Everything that you see on the car, the roof rack I've had arranged to have welded, bought all the trimmings, get yelled at by the mechanic for pulling things off and not being able to put them back on.
You're having a go. Isn't she great? She's having a go. And before the interview, she was a bit worried, oh, look, it's not a trophy-winning car, it's not that pristine. But that's what is good about Classic Restos. It's not always about the high-level trophy-winning cars. Here we have a classic car, the Beetle that you drive every day. That's pretty cool.
I get in it and I love driving it every single time. Every single time I get in it, I want to get on the Federal Highway and go up to Sydney.
Don't want to go down the Federal, you've got to go up.
Oh, Melbourne. Yeah. I've taken a lot of long trips in that. I can sleep in the car. I'll go anywhere in that car. There's something about driving a Beetle.
Isn't she wonderful? Mandy, thank you so much for sharing your Beetle with us.
Thanks, Fletch. Really appreciate it.
Brendan Hughes from Penrite. How are you, Brendan?
I'm good, Fletch. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate. You've got some truck oils here. You've got a Mono Truck 30, Mono Truck 50, and you've also got a 15W40 and a 10W40. Let's start with the 30. Now, people watching the show, when should they use a 30?
Mono 30s are like a mid-ash type oil, generally used in probably older type motors, but very similar to what you'd use in your motor mower.
Okay, we move along to the 50, the Mono Truck 50. Now, you mentioned low ash oil. Explain that.
Well, low ash oil is part of the oil makeup where you don't want a lot of ash in the oil. Like modern diesel oils have a little bit of ash in them for the ones that don't run low SAPS oils. Mono 50 is used basically in two-stroke diesels, such as a Detroit 149 series. So, and again, mainly for older type applications.
Newer trucks doing interstate work on the highway every day, the 15W40?
Yeah, if it's a American Motors built engines generally use a 15 type 40 oil. If you drive a European type truck, they may use one like a synthetic 1040 or even lower viscosity these days.
Now, if it all seems too much, don't let it burden you. There's a tech line that you can call. Even if you're using a current oil that you're not too sure about and you'd like to find out more information, go to classicrestos.com.au. You know who the major sponsor is. Contact them for more information. Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, Fletch.
The day is coming to a close. We have Rhiannon now. How are you, Rhiannon?
Good, thanks, Fletch. How are you?
Good, thank you. Rhiannon's driving around in a 1972 Combi Ute truck. What do you like to call it?
It's a Ute.
So, what's it like to drive?
It's great. It's old, obviously, so it doesn't go as fast as some of the new ones, but I love it. It just zips along and it's great.
It's a little bit more girl power on today's episode, which is always great to see. So you're driving the old Dak around, you get a few looks?
Yeah, you do. You always do, obviously, and other people with combis love to wave, and it's just such a friendly community.
Rhiannon, words of advice watching at home. Younger people too, trying to get into the classic car fraternity. I think the Volkswagen front door is just amazing. What's your thoughts? What advice can you offer?
If you can learn to drive in a Volkswagen, you can learn to drive anything. They're so much fun.
Sorry, I see the comedy in that.
There's so much fun, and they are easy to drive, and they're just a lot. There's a lot to do with them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, your clubs are so welcoming too. I mean, everybody's so friendly. Yeah. So on that note, the website for your club?
CanberraVW.com.au.
There you go.
Yeah.
You've heard it from the master herself. Good on you, Aaron, and keep up the great work and the dream alive in keeping these Volkswagens on the road. Well done.
Thanks, Fletch.
Well, there you go. What do you think of that? Just some of the 2014 Shannons German Autofest, and I'm sure you'll agree that Willie and his team have done a wonderful job in bringing this year's event together. Now, keep in mind, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, contacting us regarding information on joining us in 2015 on a Fletch tour. Our major sponsors are there as well. And as I say at the end of every show, until next week, no matter where you're watching from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.